Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope that you have been good. A few videos back I shared about the struggles that I experienced in my first year of marriage, and in that video I said that I wasn't ready for marriage. In as much as I thought I was, I really wasn't. Well, in the process of editing that video, I had like a light bulb moment and I was like, it would be great to look back and think about all of the things I wish that I did or knew before I got married. So that's what this video is going to be about. I'll be sharing a few things that I wish I did to better prepare me for the journey that is marriage. The first thing on my list is I wish I dated more before I got married. By this, I mean that I wish I dated more men.
I'm sorry, what?
And also dated my husband more before we got married. So for the first part about dating more men, I feel like I missed out on a lot of late teenage young adult experience because I was just so set in my ways. People who know me from way back know this about me. If we went to secondary or uni together, you would know that I was sure of who I am and what I wanted. So I wasn't settling for, I couldn't stand stupidity. That's just the way to put it. I just did not understand the concept of dating just for dating. And at that stage, that was what a lot of people around me were doing, but I just did not understand that concept. For me, every single person that I looked forward to dating at the time had to be a husband potential. I had to see a future in it. I did not understand the concept of just doing it just because every other person was doing it. I'm not saying that is a bad thing, it's actually a good thing, but I feel on the other hand, I missed out on nice, silly experiences that I could have had at that stage. Again, it saved me from a lot of rubbish, but then again, I missed out on certain things. And because I wasn't of that mindset, it limited the experience that I would have had, not just with the opposite sex, but with girls as well. Because of the value or moral that I have, my friend circle has always been small. I didn't want any distraction. I was just like an old woman in a young person's body. And now I can see how rigid that was, but I don't regret it. Maybe if I had to live life again, I'd probably do the same thing. I wish that I did it because I did not get to do it. When you make one choice, something else falls out of the way. So I think that that's just what it is with that. Then for dating my husband more, I wish that we did that more. We started long distance, we continued long distance even after marriage. So there were just certain things that I would have known about him if we had dated more or dated longer. So even if it was long distance and it was maybe 2-3 years, there were things that would have revealed itself in those years and would have avoided some of the issues that we had in our first year of marriage. So that's the explanation with that. If you had a different experience, if you were a jovial, bubbly, or if you are a jovial, bubbly person that is going through the whole late teenage, young adult experience, let me know in the comment section what that experience is like, and if I really missed out on it, let me know in the comment section. I would really like to know. The second one is a big thing, and it is the fact that I wish that I had worked on learning how to forgive people easily. God, the struggle that I have had to struggle and I am still struggling, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. And I wish that I had really looked into that. I am of the school of thought that certain hurt and people can and should be forgiven in due time, but they don't have to continue to be a part of your life. I forgive you, but please stay very far away from me. That sort of energy is my energy. And that's the way that I have learned to deal with certain situations. Just walk through it in my time, forgive, but not necessarily have to interact with those people or those situations. And you can obviously see how that is a problem in marriage. First of all, with my husband, I can definitely not throw him away or cancel him. So every single time that we have, which thankfully has not been a lot, thank God, we've not had like any very big issue, but those ones that I would consider big now, they are silly, of course, but like we've found ways to like walk through it. It might take a while, but we walk through it. I think with my husband, it's not a very difficult thing for me to do, because it's somebody I like, somebody that I want to continue to be with, and I choose to continue to be with. So we find ways to, you know, work together. But for like extended family, acquaintances, friends of family that I on my own would not even want to be dealing with, they are now very annoying people. It's like, God, do I really have to do this? If I had the choice, I would just avoid them. But you don't necessarily pick and choose those sort of family. You don't pick and choose those sort of friends and acquaintances. And the worst part of the whole thing is you can't really say your mind as well, because they are not directly my friends. They are friends of people, or not directly my relatives. They are relatives of relatives. So just so you don't rock the boat or annoy somebody, the person who is like the common denominator. So just so you don't cause any rift, you just sort of not say anything. I really don't like that. I really don't like that at all. So I wish that I had sorted out like my issues with forgiveness before I got into marriage, knowing that I'll be dealing with people and situations that I necessarily did not choose myself and cannot avoid. So that's a big one, very big one. The third thing for me is travel. This one is a bit tricky because you need resources to be able to travel, and for someone who did not necessarily come from like money, travel wasn't something that I had the luxury of doing until I started earning for myself. And even then, it was still not a priority, and I did not get to do as much of it as I would like to outside of like work trips. Thankfully, travel is not something that you miss out on. It's not something that expires, so you can always definitely get to do it. The age and energy and vibe can be different, but it's still something that you can experience. And I think that I would probably make it a priority now. It's just a matter of planning ahead of time and, you know, doing it. The last but definitely not the least thing on my list of the things I wish I did before I got married is therapy. I wish I had gone to therapy. I think that the average person carries a lot of baggage all through their lifetime. Personally, I have gone through like experiences from childhood to like adulthood. All my life, actually, there are things that I think have made me who I am that I would have loved to figure out. So what is informing my decision? Why am I the way that I am? Are there things about me that are expressions of the hurt or trauma that I have experienced in the past? What are those things? What part of my life do they affect? So I need to evaluate those places. Like, is that really me? Or is that just like my heart talking? So like there's a lot of things that I would love to know about myself. Like there are a lot of things I would have loved to figure out mentally about myself before, you know, getting into marriage and intertwining my life with another person's life as well. And I wish my partner did the same thing as well, so that we come into the situation as two healed people and we are not hurting each other as a result of the experiences that we've had in the past. So this is just one out of several things that I know that therapy can do for me. Figuring out my attachment style or the way that I am in relationship, why that is and what informs that. I know that there are like a lot of benefits that one can get from therapy, and I wish that I did that for myself, just to figure out who I am as a person and be sure that that is really the person that I want to be, and that is the way that I want to exist in the world. So that's the last thing, guys. If you have any list of yours that you want to share, let me know in the comment section as well. If this video has been helpful to you, you can leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, or subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed. You can do all of them. Leave a comment, like, subscribe if you are not yet subscribed, and I'll see you in my next video.